Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Making It Big. I'm your host, A.B. Ravi. This week's story is quite unusual. It defies the conventional theory of how to start a business. To cut to chase, let me focus on the actors of this week's episode. There were 5 of them, all in the mid-20s, highly qualified, working for MNCs and earning handsome salaries. And in the late 70s, in a cocoon economy like ours, these 5 professionals were certainly in an envious position. But strangely, one of them, Mr. G. Ramakrishnan, or Jira, as is famously known, was not happy with this well-set life. He felt life had a bigger calling than to do this 9-to-5 job. He wanted to use his skill and talent for his own business. So he shared this burning desire with his 4 childhood friends, and they were sold. Surprise, surprise, even before they could decide what business they should venture into, all the 5 chucked their jobs. Reason? They wanted no exit doors. So success was the only option. You could call this action of theirs as blind belief or raw guts. But I feel it was the collective intelligence that gave them the comfort that they will make it big. Thus was born Galaxy Surfactants in 1980 to manufacture and market a range of specialty chemicals that go into making personal care and home care products that touches the lives of billion people. Take a look at Galaxy's story and you know why it makes sense not to have an exit option in business if you want to succeed.
This perhaps could be one of the most unusual letters ever written on a Valentine's Day. Way back in 1979, G. Ramakrishnan, popularly known as Jira, dashed off a letter to his 4 friends titled My Definite Chief Aim. The letter stated that the idea of setting up the fine chemicals factory along with Shashi, CR and Shekhar, which I am nurturing at present and which is gradually growing into concrete shape, has to be executed within another 1 year. By June 1980, our plant should be ready to go into production. And it did, precisely 16 months later. On 22nd June 1980, Galaxy Chemicals was born in a 1500 square foot shed at Tarapur in Maharashtra. This transformation of an idea into reality clearly indicates that when 5 intelligent minds unite, it can ignite a new path and nothing can stop them. So it was. Today, the Maharashtra-based Galaxy Surfactants has emerged as a leading manufacturer of surfactants and specialty chemicals which are used as intermediate raw materials to produce home and personal care products that touches the lives of billion people. Surfactants are surface active agents which reduce interfacial tension between 2 phases. These products, ranging over 70, find applications in oral care, baby care, skin care, hair care, sun care and home care segments. Essentially, Galaxy, a B2B player, caters to local and global giants like Colgate, Henkel, L'Oreal, Reckitt Benckiser, Unilever, P&G, Calvin Care, Dabur, Imami, ITC and Marico to name a few. And 70% of its turnover comes from top 10 clients. What made this possible is its big bet on R&D. By leveraging chemistry responsibly and sustainability through its product innovations, Galaxy has helped its customers serve their consumers better. Result, in spite of stiff competition from the likes of Huntsman, Rhodia, BASF, Dow or Clariant, the company has been accorded either a certified preferred supplier status or star status supplier or strategic mine partner or green channel holder status by most of its clients locally and globally. Domestically, Galaxy's strategy of different hook for different folks has seen it corner over 60% market share. Globally, it is making its mark by leveraging its relationships with the Indian operations of global FMCG players. And this is reflected in its financials. Between FY 2009 and FY 2015, its sales turnover has grown from 594 crore rupees to 1,419 crore, registering a CAGR of 16%. During the same period, the net profit jumped from 27 crore rupees to 86 crore rupees, recording a CAGR of 22%. Today, Galaxy has won its well-deserved place under the sun. But the story of how it came into being is indeed unusual and could make for a good case study at a B school. All the 5 promoters, U. Shekhar, G. Ramakrishnan, Shashikant Shanbag, Sudhir Patil and the late C.R. Ramakrishna, who were toppers in schools and colleges, landed a high-paying job in companies like Hindustan Lever, Colgate, Lupin and Nicholas Piramal. But Jeera, the architect behind Galaxy, was feeling restless within 15 days of joining Colgate. He felt life had a bigger calling. He wanted to be a businessman. So he shared this burning desire with his 4 close friends who were with him either in school at SIWS or in college at Podar. To ensure that they were a part of his dream, Gira roped in his mentor Kul Shekhar to play a catalyst role. For a few weeks, all the friends met regularly at 5 Gardens in Dadar and brainstormed for hours. All the 5, even before they could zero in on a business plan, quit their jobs. This move, largely influenced by Alexander the Great, was to ensure that they did not have an exit option. The first turning point came when K.A. Warrior, director manufacturing Colgate-Palmolive, asked them to supply SLS. Shekhar and Gira were foxed by this abbreviation. But not wishing to let go of this golden opportunity, Shekhar, being a chemical engineer, went back to his books to find out what SLS stood for and its end use. Very quickly, he worked out the process for manufacturing sodium lauryl sulfate at his friend's lab in Ghatkopar. And this was submitted to Colgate and Levers for evaluation and analysis. Thereafter, it was an agonizing wait. Levers was the first to revert, followed by Colgate. Thus was laid the foundation of Galaxy. Quickly the partners pooled 20,000 rupees each, borrowed money from friends, relatives and raised 2.5 lakh rupees from MSFC, 4 lakh rupees from SBI and set the plant in Tarapur in Maharashtra. In the first year, it posted a turnover of 12 lakh rupees and made a net profit of 1 lakh rupees. There were moments of pangs and frustration when the company's entire consignment would be rejected. But since Galaxy was their first and only mission in life, the promoters surmounted all hurdles and started tasting success slowly but surely. The tipping point was in 1997. Its bread butter product SLS, contributing nearly a third of its turnover, were used by its customers either in the needle form or powder form. Both had shortcomings. The SLS needles had production issues, while SLS powder posed a health issue for workers. The company's R&D cracked this problem by creating SLS granules, and this proved to be a game changer. Some of its clients saved nearly $1 million on their bottom line. After this, there was no looking back. They went on expanding rapidly. They set up a research center at Navi Mumbai in 1997, commissioned a new plant at Taloja, Jhagadia and expanded the Tarapur factory. They were on a roll. The company was looking at newer avenues to grow its business in different geographies. In 2009, it paid $5 million to acquire US firm Tri-K, which manufactures protein-based ingredients for use in hair care and skincare products. This acquisition gave them a toehold in the US. And to cater to customers in the Middle East and EU, they set up a greenfield plant in Egypt in 2011. Innovation lies at the core of Galaxy. It can be judged by the pool of intellectual property it has garnered in the form of 10 US patents, 21 Indian patents and 1 EU patent.
We are a force to reckon with in terms of being innovative, and our customers are actually recognizing that. They are keen on collaborating with us. They have been signing the innovation agreements with us. That itself is a certification that the customers who have huge R&D strengths, when the thousands of PhDs are working for companies like Unilever and Procter & Gamble, they are still keen on collaborating with us. So that itself shows that we are definitely valued partners for them.
While on the business front, the company bagged prestigious awards and recognition, the only setback it faced was that its 200 crore rupee IPO in 2011 did not sail through. Be that as it may, the company has established itself as not just a supplier but a strategic mind partner and co-creator for formulating innovative products for its customers with proximity to consumers. It does business in 103 countries and deals with more than 1,000 customers globally. Now, the dream is to become a $1 billion company by 2020. On that note, it's time for a short commercial break. When we come back, CNBC TV 18's AB Ravi chats up with U. Shekhar and G. Ramakrishnan, the two key pillars of Galaxy Surfactants, to find out why their mission is only Galaxy. Also joining us on the show will be Sandeep Uppal of HSBC, giving a banker's perspective of the company. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Galaxy, which started its operation as a local supplier with two products some 3 decades ago, has now emerged as strategic vendor for marquee brands globally. I caught up with the founding promoters U. Shekhar and G. Ramakrishnan at the corporate office in Navi Mumbai to find out why Galaxy is their only mission. This is what they have to say. Take a look. Jira, Shekhar and Sandeep, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jira, if I may begin by asking you, this is very unusual. Why did 5 friends who had a very good job in a reputed company quit and start your own business?
When I think back, when I was 21 years old, my very good friend, my soul buddy Kulas, he told me, Jira, after studying this much, you should be on your own. You should not be working for somebody. At that time, I was doing my chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretaryship, as well as MCOM. That stuck into my mind as a young boy. I was recruited as a management trainee at Hindustan Lever and also at Colgate Palmolive when I completed my chartered accountancy. Both of them wouldn't leave me.
Okay.
So this went on for a couple of months. I then went to a temple, tossed a coin, came Colgate, went and joined Colgate.
Okay.
And to my surprise, I discovered that Shashi, who is one of our co-promoters of Galaxy, I found Shashi also at Colgate. 72 of us were interviewed at Colgate, 2 of us were recruited.
Okay.
15 days into Colgate, a thought passed into my mind. If I'm on my own, I'll be 5 times more creative. I went to Shashi, I told him, look Shashi, life seems to be having a message for us. We have been together now for 8 years, 4 years into college, 4 years our professional education, and why not we do something together? Shashi said, Dekhta hoon. Next day we went for a movie at Regal. While climbing down the staircase, I asked Shashi, hey, did you think about what I said yesterday? He said, yeah, I did. So let's not practice as chartered accountants because we can't multiply ourselves employing people under us. Let's put up an industry. I said, why not? Look, 2 young chartered accountants aged around 22, no capital, no exposure to industry.
Okay.
But then there was immense faith that together we would win out this world. And when you have such an abundant amount of faith, universe starts cooperating. I told Shashi that I will take you to Kulas. He will make you think differently. Kulas brought in C.R. Ramakrishna. He was masters in pharmacy from my very school. So
Okay.
Kulas, C.R. and I, we were from same school.
Same school, okay.
Then Kulas went to IIM Calcutta. When he went to Calcutta, he went to IIM and he was rowing a boat in that lake along with Shekhar. Okay. So he asked Shekhar, hey Shekhar, after MBA, what do you want to be doing? Shekhar was a chemical engineer and he was doing his MBA at IIM Cal. So Shekhar said, I want to be a businessman. Kulas asked him, would you like to join Jira, Shashi and CR who are toying with some business ideas? He said, why not? So Kulas came back to Bombay and he told me, hey, Shekhar is willing to join you in business. I said, welcome, because Shekhar always used to stand first in the class and I would stand fourth. So I thought he is a great bet for me. So it was four of us who came together. We used to constantly meet and discuss business thoughts, business ideas, right from.
So all the four of you, including you, agreed that you want to do business.
Yeah. We wanted to be entrepreneurs, we wanted to be businessmen, we wanted to discover ourselves.
Okay, Shekhar, I will come to you now. What made you bet big on chemicals, given the fact that none of you all had a chemical background or you work for a chemical industry, neither your family is from the chemical sector. Everybody's from the commerce background except for you, I think. So what made you bet big on chemicals?
See, it was natural for me being a chemical engineer. I felt chemicals is the field where I would be good at.
Okay.
And that was one. And number two, the meeting with Mr. Warrior, which Jira alludes to, gave us an opening on which I could build.
Okay.
And
Warriors from where? Hindustan Lever?
Warrior from Colgate Palmolive.
Okay.
We were brought together by the desire to be on our own, to be creative. So when Mr. Warrior proposed that you manufacture SLES, I immediately said yes, though I didn't know what was SLES. Okay. I didn't want to lose that opportunity.
Very honest confession.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose that opportunity. So, and the saying is made us commit to that particular product. Of course, I figured out a way. I went back to my books and then discovered how to manufacture it, how to prepare it. And fortunately, I had a friend of mine who had set up a small laboratory behind his house at an investment of something like 100,000 rupees.
Those days?
Those days.
Okay.
And we prepared our first sample in his laboratory. And even though we didn't know how to analyze the product in terms of purity, etc., we submitted the sample and miracle of miracle, it passed.
So it was a eureka moment for you.
Yes.
At what point in time you felt that we are going to be in this business for good? So what was the biggest turning point?
I would say the biggest turning point was the day one. When we were in, we were in. Okay, we had kept, we didn't have any exit doors. We didn't keep any exit doors at all. So we were in.
So what makes Galaxy the preferred supplier for all the marquee brands in the world?
I would say a strategic vision, fitting with the customer's strategy, starting with India and taking it global, providing solutions, becoming a partner of choice, innovation and competitiveness.
Okay, let me get Sandeep in. Sandeep, you heard the story. The first person account from the promoters. As a banker, what is your impression?
It's obviously a very fascinating story, and one would be tempted at times to think that the core of the company is about technical excellence and things like that, being a chemical company. But while the story was being narrated, what jumped to my mind was two things. One is fortune favors the brave, because that comes out very clearly, whether it was on day one, giving up what were very lucrative jobs at that time.
True.
Or as we know later on also at various stages, the company has taken brave decisions, whether it was going into the US market or manufacturing in Egypt. And they've taken it with conviction and without looking back. So I think that comes out very strongly as one of the DNA of the companies. The second part, which is also on the softer side, comes out very clearly is that when opportunity came knocking, they were there to open the door. So whether it was about friends following friends into setting up a venture, or then grabbing the opportunity which Colgate senior manager provided to provide one key ingredient, and then just following the customer. So I think just picking up on opportunities is part of the DNA. And I think that's what gives the company its character and its strength.
Shekhar, what is the strategy plan on which you have built your whole business?
In this industry, it's extremely important that both vendor and the customer have a long relationship. Primarily because the end-use products, consumers like you and me are very, very fussy and very, very sensitive about quality, toxicity,
correct,
etc., etc. So customers take quite a bit of time in terms of evaluating a vendor and approving him, and they would like to have a vendor on whom they can count, they can trust over many, many years. So the customers firstly look for character in a vendor. When I say character, you can be counted on, you talk transparent, you talk consistent, you talk a consistent language, and you are willing to invest in terms of a long term. So character is the first C. I would like to say that we build our business on 4 C's, and character is the first C. Having said that, character alone is not adequate. Character is the most important. Character has to be backed by competence. So when I say competence, you need to be capable, you need to be able to respond to customers' needs, the changing consumer needs, and you need to come up with new products, you need to be up on innovation. So you need to be able to respond to the changing, growing customer needs. This is the second C, which is competence. The third C is competitiveness. You need to be able to make your offering in a way which is competitive. What I mean by competitiveness is which results in the lowest cost at the consumer's end, at the customer's end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Point well.
And lastly, the fourth C is comfort, which means the customer, once he gives you an order, he would like to go to sleep. So quality service delivery is given in this relationship. So the 4 C's, character, competence, competitiveness, and comfort, are the basic pillars on which we build our business.
Okay, Shekhar, what are the ingredients for success in business?
I believe that what has contributed to our success are some 5 points. 1, respect and valuing people, dreaming and envisioning, conducting business with integrity, closeness to customers and care, and efficiency and continuous improvement. These are the 5 things that I would say has contributed to where we are today from what we were about 35 years back.
I will give 3 advices. Okay. Faith, faith, and faith.
Okay, very well put. Jira, Shekhar, Sandeep, thanks for being on the show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was Shekhar and Jira playing their roles in perfect symphony. These are the mantras they implemented to build Galaxy. Adopted 4C model: character, competence, competitiveness, and comfort. Respecting and valuing people at all levels. Conducting business with utmost integrity. Building efficiency through continuous innovation and improvements. Being close to customers and anticipating their needs. Well, these mantras have certainly made the promoters of Galaxy millionaires, but in the process, many of the stakeholders too have become millionaires. Before I go, here is an interesting quote from Mark Zuckerberg, and it seems to go very well with Shekhar's and Jira's temperament. And I quote, "The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risk," unquote. On that thinking note, it is time to say goodbye. See you next week with another interesting episode. Till then, keep watching CNBC TV 18.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.